Designers versus gamers. Video game is only a form of entertainment which intentionally tries to stop you from experiencing all of its content. This is a challenge. Whether this challenge manifests as a tough boss, hidden item, tough combat loop, or any other obstacle in general, games need to find a way to keep the player engaged with challenge and gameplay. And story is just stuff you remember. Without a challenge, all player actions carry the weight of an incredibly poorly written document consisting of only W, A's, and S and D's. When we achieve something in general, for it to be rewarding, it has to be a challenge. This is where game designers come in to add challenge, balance it out so that the challenge is not so insurmountable as to make the game pissing in the wind. This is not a video about game difficulty, but rather how design in game often comes to player freedom versus limitation. Now, the subject of Doom 2016 versus Eternal. Games in general should challenge and engage the player. Take Doom 2016 versus Eternal. 2016 is a bit mindless in comparison, but allows you to experiment and play with weapons as you please. But in Eternal, which I do think Eternal is the better game, it really does too much on hard counters, which limits what the players can do and provides a challenge, but removes freedom by making questionable balance changes, and anything other than the hard counters has a high time to kill. Plus, you waste precious ammo, which is scarcer than in 2016. But yes, you can take the auto refueling chainsaw, but still, this does remove a lot of options that were viable in 2016, which places a limitation so the player can overcome it and have fun. But no one likes to exit the comfort zone. When forced to play in a way, some don't like the game, and the game becomes bad for them. Oftentimes, you're hit with too many demons and can get mobbed, and you have to think of the weak spots and how to take down each and every demon, which could take you out of the experience and could make it bad. It's not your fault when this happens, and you definitely do not have to get better at the game for it to be fun. This is just a limitation that makes Eternal a little limited compared to 2016. Final comparison would be Dark Souls vs Sekiro. Both games are Metroidvanias. Dark Souls gives the player a lot of freedom and ambiguity, so does Sekiro. Both have weapons, magic, and other fantastical elements, but the difference being that Dark Souls has a lot more variety in its approach. You have a lot more weapons, magic, and builds to combat through the worlds, but in Sekiro you just have one build and only one way to play. Sure, both have similar limitations where you can't enter new areas if you're too underleveled, but in Dark Souls you can choose your approach, whether you want to use an axe, use a sword and a shield, parry, you become a wizard, etc. That's all up to you. But in Sekiro, you are a ninja and you have a sword. No, nothing can change that. You are a ninja with the sword. Maybe you can get a few advanced combat arts, but in general, the only way for combat is parrying. There is no other way to play the game, and this kind of takes the player out the experience, because it's just not how a typical Dark Souls player would play. I think more reliant on the dodge button, but this relies more on the parry mechanic, which was not very reliable in Dark Souls in my opinion, but in Sekiro it is the only way to get forward, and it doesn't work in the kind of situations that you go through in Dark Souls, so it places a limitation on how to play. But if you do happen to get comfortable with the parrying, it can be good. But not everyone enjoys that, and it's not anyone's fault for not enjoying Sekiro as much as Dark Souls because of this. Yeah, conclusion, you wasted your time. Bye.